So I've got it on the track and given it some power. Not really much going on. So Craig said that it just didn't do anything. So let's just give it a little bit. I have a feeling. No, I've got a feeling about this, and I think one of the things which is quite common with these is inactivity causes them to seize up. So let's have a prod inside and see if we can just free up that mechanism. A big hello to you, so great to see you and I hope I find you well. I'm Jenny Kirk, welcoming you up here to Weir Yard, and today we're back in the realm of Can We Fix It? It proved really quite popular last time when I took on that Bachmann Prairie tank and actually found that a sold for spares or repair model can often have some quite simple issues that are really super easy to fix. For 20 quid, that was actually a pretty good locomotive. We even got as far as DCC fitting it. And it made me think that maybe actually we should delve into this a little bit more often. So today we're back, and thanks to the generosity of Iron Horse Railways, who has donated a dud non-runner to the channel, we're going to be delving back into this Can We Fix It? So today I have got here a Hornby Dublo 264 4MT tank, which has a few issues apparently. What I'm told is it doesn't run, and that's a pretty big issue for a model railway locomotive. But never fear, Jenny is here, and we're going to be delving into what's wrong with this and can we fix it. Come with me in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabrique.co.uk. Additional support comes from...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com and don't miss out on your latest loco.
Don't forget to hit that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so, and ring that notification bell. It's the best way to make sure that you get told about the new videos as and when they go up. But I'm actually really looking forward to this. Hornby Dublo is where I started in this hobby. My childhood model railway was effectively my dad's Hornby Dublo, and we added to it over the years because, quite frankly, Hornby Dublo in the early 1980s was really quite cheap. And one of the things that I invariably found myself doing was repairing locomotives. You'd pick stuff up from car boot sales and such like, and it wouldn't work, it had been abused. But these things are rugged and reliable. So today we're going to see, can we fix it and maybe breathe some new life into this Hornby Dublo 264 tank locomotive. So come with me and let's see what we can do for her. So I'd like to thank Iron Horse Railways very, very generously has donated to the channel this locomotive for the Can We Fix It segment, which has proved quite popular. Now this is a Wren box, but that's not the box for this locomotive. I think that's actually an R1. Even though it does actually have what appears to be a picture of the 4MT, all of the boxes had the same picture on back in the day from Wren. And Wren essentially picked up the tooling and got to continue making a lot of the Hornby Dublo range. But I'm just going to take this out. That instructions is not for this locomotive, and this is actually a Hornby Dublo locomotive. Quite a late one by the look of it, because as you can see, the tooling does look very worn on the chassis. So Hornby Dublo there, and that's not Mazak rot, that's just simply this tooling is pretty much worn out at this point in this form, but it's a lovely model. Hornby Dublo originally released it as 80054 in 3-rail with the early crest, and then when the 2-rail system came along, the 2-rail identity was 80033, and they renumbered the 3-rail version, so they became available with a late crest, just like this, but as number 80059. Now, there seems to have been no reason or rhyme why Hornby Dublo picked those identities. Certainly they were real locomotives in the sequence, and none of the three did survive in preservation, and also it's safe to say that none of them have actually been produced recently from manufacturers such as Bachmann that have a modern version of the model, which is a great shame, I think. So ostensibly the model looks complete. We've got all the buffers. The only problem is he says it doesn't run. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's move over to the power track, my DC power track, and see if we can get any life out of it to confirm that diagnosis. So I've got it on the track and given it some power. Not really much going on. Let's just give it a little bit. I've got a feeling about this, and I think one of the things which is quite common with these is inactivity causes them to seize up. So let's have a prod inside and see if we can just free up that mechanism. Over time they do gum up, and that'll effectively mean that we get very high resistance. The motor can't kind of break free from where it's probably been inactive for decades. But one of the things you can do is just make sure nothing on the chassis feels loose, and we've got a direct drive down onto this back axle, and I wouldn't recommend this with most locomotives. Certainly modern locomotives never do this, but with Hornby Dublo they're much more rugged, and you can probably see in there as I force that round, the armature is turning. It's broken free. There, oh, that's broken free. And actually, yeah, I think it was gummed up. You know what? I've got this sneaky suspicion this could be quite an easy fix. Now you can do this with Hornby Dublo models. Do not do it with modern ones. You probably just shear the splines on the axles, but these are very rugged. Right, we've freed that up. Let's put it back on the test track and see if that's actually done anything. If you're wondering why I'm not using my 9-volt battery, it's because these generally do draw a bit more, and my 9-volt battery doesn't have a lot of juice left in it. But let's get this back over to the test track, and let's give it a little bit of power. Oh, I thought, yes. So we've got, that is definitely doing something. Oh, it's much happier going in reverse, it would seem. Not so happy going forwards. But, well, we know that there is life in her, so we are getting somewhere. So let's get it back onto the bench, and let's get the body off. To get the body off, the first thing that I need to do is take off the front bogie. That isn't the original screw, it has to be said, but it does do the job. So let's just put that carefully to one side. And then that exposes this flathead screw up at the front, and shouldn't be hugely tight. There we go. So that'll let go, and very carefully we can unhook at the back. There's like a hook in there, and just lift this out. And as you can see, completely empty otherwise inside. So I'm just going to put that to one side. And let's see what we've actually got in here. Let's make sure we don't lose that screw. Not an awful lot is the honest answer. Plenty of space. And theoretically you could DCC fit one of these, but you would need probably a very high power type decoder just to make sure it doesn't blow it. I mean, the amount of power this is currently trying to pull is astronomical, but let's just get on now. And one word of warning, is never undo this screw and take apart the magnet. They just don't like it. You can get replacement magnets or you can remagnetize these, but if you remove that completely, then you can destroy the magnetic field. These are not neodymium magnets. These are actually soft steel. I think they've got some cobalt in them, high cobalt content, but they're not modern magnet technology, so you really don't want to mess about. I'm looking in there, the commutator. We've got a build-up of muck. I can see just across there, that's the commutator, and just very gently scraping through there. Let's just see. There is a little bit of muck. We can clean that up. Let's just look on the other side. There should be three of these gaps. Again, a little bit of carbon mess in there. I think we should check on the brushes. To get into the brushes, pull out that front, pull out the back, and don't lose these. And inside, let's just pull out the spring very carefully. Again, don't lose these. Very easy for them to roll away. And again, on the back, it has exactly the same. Take that out. And there doesn't seem to be much spring on those at all. I'm just seeing how much there is in the way of brush. So that goes in up to there. Actually, no, there is plenty of brush in here. These are just like carbon, like a stick, almost like graphite. So that's going into there. These have got good brushes, actually. There's no need to replace them. If you're wondering what they look like, I think I do have some spares here in my my rather vast old Hornby Dublo servicing set. So let's just have a look. You can just see there is a brand new brush, and it's just like a tube of a kind of graphite, I guess. But we do not need the use of that, so I think it's just a case of cleaning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find some white spirit and a brush, and let's get that commutator cleaned up. And I've got one of these cotton wool thingies for you to kind of clean your ears with them. But I'm going to use this just to clean up the commutator, and you can see the black gunge that's coming out here. So I'm just going to give that a good clean. That's always a good starting point for old locomotives like this, because you get a build-up of just kind of carbon gunge. Now the commutator should be a kind of coppery colour, and I tend to use upward motions, and you can just pull the commutator around just a little bit. So you'll see the wheels on the model are just slowly going round as I give that a good clean. And then, yeah, there's a little bit of scoring, but not excessively. Just make sure that you don't harm any of the windings. It's very easy to sometimes snap free where they connect, but no, that's going okay. Let's just turn that round, make use of the other end, and just see what other muck we can liberate. I'd say that this looks to be in pretty good condition, in all honesty with you. Just clean the ends of the brush holders. Let's go in from the other side. The armature windings look nice and clean as well. But look, you can just see the gunge that's come out from there. And let's get a fresh one. Let's just dry things off just a little bit. And that looks alright. So, what I'm going to do now is just make sure we've got no bits of fluff in there. Gently just check the commutator gaps. They're alright. We do have a little bit of vertical play on that, which is just not a huge amount. You can adjust that with this, but actually I wouldn't. I'm not bothered by that. That's okay. Now we're happy with the length of the brushes, so what I'm going to do is put the brush holders and springs back in, and again on the back as well. Push that in, and I'm happy with that. So let's just give it a good oil. And again, I'm using, it's actually gun oil, I think this is. And what we need to do is get a little bit up on the top, a little bit onto the worm, and then at the bottom of the worm, where there's like a needle into the chassis, and let's get a little bit onto that, and let's just, I think there's some dirt as well. Let's just have a look. Do we have the old carpet fluff? No, I don't think we do. There's a little bit of fluff there, nothing untoward. This is actually in not too bad a condition. I think its major issue has been it simply has probably not run in decades, and I mean decades. I'd wager 1980s is probably the last time this locomotive did any serious running, and that takes its toll. It just kind of seizes up. You get a little bit perhaps of surface corrosion, a little bit of oxidizing, and before you know it, it's just enough extra resistance that things kind of stick. Let's just try it with the 9-volt battery. Now that we've freed everything up, it actually is... I don't think there's enough juice in my 9-volt battery, but I can see that we've got... there is something happening. We're getting there. Now, it could be a magnetism issue, or we could just need a little bit more oomph. So I've got the locomotive onto the rolling road just for convenience, and there we go. And I can hear it speeding up as it runs, which is a good sign. It means it's freeing up. Let's try it the other way. And that's perfect, absolutely perfect. So we just really have to put it back together, and the only thing I can think of really is remagnetization might improve this. And I am going to add a little bit more in the way of carbon brushes in. I just think that I did see a little bit of arcing, and that could mean low pressure on the brushes, and you can actually quite easily just add a little bit in. Just take those out there. We do have a traction tyre, actually, if you're wondering what traction tyres for the Hornby Dublo Class 28s and Class 20s look like. That's it. And I'm just going to add in just a little bit extra. You don't need to remove the old brush. You just simply take a piece of the new one and just feed it in. I'll go into that tube, and there we go. I'm just pleased to be able to use these. I haven't needed to service a Hornby Dublo locomotive in this way for probably 20 years. Now there's a much better pressure in there, and now let's just see what we've got for here. Yeah, I'm not convinced that the pressure on the brushes is as good as it kind of needs to be. So we don't need all of this, so we'll just simply snap it, and they do snap quite cleanly. Stop that from escaping. And I'm just going to put that little bit extra into there. That now, yeah, you can see we've got a little bit more pressure on the spring. That can't hurt. And let's get that in. And that just increases a little bit the pressure on the commutator. We'll double check that once everything's all together. Let me just put my very last piece of spare brush carbon into there. Don't want to lose that. Let's just make sure that we can get this back together. We've got the lug at the back, need to just fit that in. And then the front fits down. We put our screw back in, tighten that up. So there's not really much to these. And even though this is the, I don't know, it looks like it's designed for this. But the ones which the 3-rail ones had were a much different design. But this works, it does fit the thread, so it's going in. And that's all absolutely fine. So there we go. Let's have a final test, and there we go. Can we fix it? Yes, we can. Well, I hope you really enjoyed today's video, and I'd love to hear from you as always in the comments section down below. What did you think about this retro Hornby Dublo edition of Can We Fix It? And have you taken on maybe one of these classic models? And don't forget as well that G&R Wren carried on where Hornby Dublo left off for an awful lot of these models, and that means that there are tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of some of these models out there in varying forms, so spare parts can be got. Remagnetisation of motors, rewinding of motors as well, is a possibility. You can do that. So there is a lot that can be done for these, and I'd love to hear from you in the comment section down below about maybe some of your resurrection projects. And one of the things that we want to do for future videos is maybe take on one or two of your sad forlorn locomotives that need a bit of repair work doing. Maybe this is a rich vein to draw on, and maybe I can help out some of you guys getting your locomotives back up and running. Now, I can't guarantee that I'll reply to everyone, but certainly maybe this is something we can dip into for making of future videos if you really want to see more of these Can We Fix It editions. But you can leave a comment down below, and if you have a locomotive that you have given up on, but you think that maybe still there is life in it if somebody such as me were to only take a look, then do get in touch. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying please like and subscribe and ring that bell, really important, to be able to make sure that you get to know about new videos as and when they go up. But until next time, take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now. Today's video comes in association with Trainomatic, makers of DCT decoders and accessories that are designed by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Find the full range available to order now at tramfabrique.co.uk. Additional support is provided by...
This is Clark Railworks, and this is what we do. You'll know us from Ellis Clark Trains, and you'll get the same friendly expertise with us too. We've got a huge range of pre-owned model railways from all your favourite manufacturers, and maybe some you hadn't heard of before. It's the place to come for quality. We don't stock substandard models, and everything we sell is fully tested and photographed by model railway experts. No matter whether you model double O gauge, N, HO or more, we have sought after models from all around the world with new listings added every weekday. Check out what's available now at clarkrailworks.com, and don't miss out on your latest loco.
I'd like to thank everybody over on Patreon, and an extra special huge thanks goes out to our Patreon heroes. Without you guys over on Patreon, we really wouldn't be able to keep making the video content that you see on this channel. And don't forget that you can also head on over to patreon.com/Jennifer Kirk and check out the different tiers of rewards. Thank you so much. You are absolute legends.